Hi, happy Thursday. It's Alisa from The Ripple Effect. Thanks so much for watching. I wanted to share something today that I've been noticing and learning, and something I've been personally experiencing as well. And that is the perception of people who tend to be a little more on the introverted side and may not be the loudest person in the room. I myself can be that more of the observer before I speak up kind of person. And I also have someone in my life who is receiving some feedback on how he's perceived as being the person who's not really speaking up during group sessions or group meetings, and tends to be more in the back. And I really want to touch on that because I'll speak for myself, but I'll also speak in general. I really believe, first of all, introversion doesn't mean necessarily quiet or unapproachable or you know not interested or able to speak up or command the room at all. Introversion, my understanding of the definition, and for myself as an introvert, I just know that I can be incredibly outspoken and chatty and animated when I'm comfortable. But just as an introvert, I need time to myself to recharge. I'm not energized by crowds. That de-energizes me. So I would imagine many of you relate to that. But anyway, getting back to the topic of, being perceived as not leading or not commanding the room or not being able to lead a room by being quiet. And I think that is a bunch of hooey. And I mean, I just am so passionate about that because I believe that those of us who are doing more listening and observing and really wanting to make sure we deeply understand what's going on and what's being said, and reading the room, reading the energy of the room, reading the energy of the people, and really taking the time and introspection to just understand. Seek first to understand. I think that's a wonderful quality, and I say that to all of you and myself who really lean in and don't necessarily speak up or talk just to hear ourselves talk because we like to hear our voices or, want to be the center of attention. And I'm not saying that all people who speak up have to be the center of attention. That's not what I mean. But I'm just, it's like I really want the truth to be shined on people who tend to be a little more reserved, and that perception, that incorrect perception that those people are always shy or don't have anything to say or can't command a room. That's just not true at all. I think that introspective nature really leads to a wonderful leader who has great insight and great depth, and really make sure that when they speak up, there's something rich and robust to be shared and really helpful and relevant to the group. And I would just say, if anyone listening or watching is thinking that about someone in their life, I really encourage you to lean in a little bit and get to know this person that you might think might be shy or quiet. I guarantee most, if not all of them, have much to say and have much to contribute, rich intelligence and introspection. They may just be waiting for a moment, or maybe there's a lot of people, already speaking, and it's just, I think Introverted people tend to be very empathetic and thoughtful. Again, not saying extroverted people aren't. I just mean that we tend to, not want to interrupt and just wait for an opportune moment. And so I find that when I'm talking with someone who really gets that personality and that way of being, the introverted type, and they can really understand that and validate it, that's a good leader. Because I think a lot of people who tend to be a little more reserved at first and may have that introverted nature, I think they really mistakenly get overlooked as not being a good leader when they would be very likely the perfect leader in many cases. So, as I always encourage myself, I would encourage you, let's all keep a really open mind and make sure we really get to know our colleagues and coworkers and loved ones before we make judgments on them and what they're capable of and not capable of, because I've been seeing this in my life and I know better, and I want us all to shine and thrive and really help bolster each other instead of the opposite of making judgments and rash decisions that are just based on not much insight. And so I know this was a bit of a serious tone, but I think this will lead to more joy, especially for our more introverted, reserved friends who tend to be just delightful people. They might just need a different way of doing things, which is beautiful. Who would want everybody to be the same anyway? So with that, I wish all of you a beautiful, wonderful day, a happy weekend, and thank you so much for listening. Take care.